Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a topic that, let's be honest, can be super confusing for a lot of people: the whole relationship between our faith and our finances. We're going to unpack a pastor's perspective that just might offer a fresh and frankly liberating way to think about it all. You know how it is. On one side, you hear these messages that sound like a spiritual slot machine, give to get rich. But then on the other side, you're told money is the root of all evil, and you should basically avoid it. It's a real dilemma, right? But what if there's a third way, a completely different way to look at our money? And this really gets to the core of it. The idea is to shift from a transactional view of money, one that's all based on fear of punishment or hope for personal gain, to a relational one, a view that's built on honor and love. Now, that might sound like a simple switch, but trust me, it changes absolutely everything. So first things first, let's start dismantling some of those fear-based ideas. We're going to look at how we move away from this transactional kind of faith and step into a place of true honor. Get this. The pastor tells this really powerful story about someone who said they never missed paying their tithe. And you think, wow, that's dedication. But their reason? They believe that every single time they didn't, something bad would happen. The car would break down, they'd get a speeding ticket. They were giving out of pure, raw fear. And the pastor's response is so blunt and so clear. That is not the God of the Bible. This whole idea that God is just up there waiting to zap you because you didn't give, that he's petty, it's just not right. You see, God is an actor, not a reactor. He's the one who initiates. He doesn't just react with blessings or curses based on what we do or don't put in the offering plate. So if giving isn't some transaction to keep us safe from trouble, what is it? Well, it's all about the heart. It's supposed to be an act of honor. It's an expression of our love. It's a way of saying, hey, I recognize that you are the source of everything I have. And maybe, just maybe, the most important part is that it's a tool God uses to work on us, to work on our hearts, and to break the grip that the love of money can have on us. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. What about that super famous verse everyone loves to quote when the offering bucket comes around? Give and it shall be given back to you. I mean, that sounds like a give-to-get system if I've ever heard one, right? Well, let's actually look at the context. Because when you actually read that part in Luke chapter 6, the context is crystal clear. It's talking about human relationships. It's a life principle. If you are generous and kind and forgiving towards other people, then other people, it literally says, shall men give unto your bosom, will be generous and kind back to you. It's not a divine cashback guarantee from God. And let's tackle another big one while we're at it, that whole robbing God passage from Malachi. Oh man, that verse has been used to lay on the guilt for generations. But here's the thing. When you really look at the text, God is talking to two different groups. To the congregation, the givers, his message is actually one of encouragement. But that heavy accusation of being robbers, that was aimed squarely at the priests, the ones handling the money, who were totally mismanaging what was being given. And all of this leads us to a really crucial point. Any conversation about money is really a conversation about the heart. It's like God's way of doing a little checkup on what's truly going on inside of us. You see, some people have no problem giving God their money, but they hold back their actual lives. And others, they'll give their time and their service, but they keep a tight grip on their finances. But God isn't really interested in just getting a portion of you. He wants all of you. It's not about just dropping some cash in a bucket. He wants your entire heart. It's either God of all or not God at all. All right, let's switch gears and redefine a word that gets thrown around a lot and is honestly often misunderstood: prosperity. What does it actually mean to be prosperous from a biblical point of view? I mean, we all know the worldly definition, don't we? It's more money, a bigger house, a faster car, more success. It's all about stacking up material things. But the biblical definition? It's radically different. I mean, just look at the story of Joseph in Genesis. The Bible flat out calls him a prosperous man. And the reason it gives, the Lord was with him. See? Prosperity isn't about what's in your bank account. It's about who is with you in your life. It's the tangible, real presence of God, no matter what your circumstances look like. And if you look at Joseph's life, this point just hits home so hard. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold as a slave, and then thrown in prison for a crime he didn't even commit. By any worldly measure, his life was a total disaster. And yet, the Bible keeps calling him prosperous through all of it, because God was with him, working out this incredible, bigger purpose. So true prosperity isn't the absence of suffering, it's the presence of God right in the middle of it. Now, here's a really fascinating idea the pastor brings up. Some people have a specific grace for wealth. It's like an anointing to create resources. But, and this is the key, that grace isn't for them to build their own luxury empire. It's given for the specific purpose of financing the work of God and practicing radical generosity. Their calling isn't to be the preacher, but to be the provider. So let's bring this all together. We've talked about moving from fear to honor, and we've totally redefined prosperity. The final piece that connects it all is the ultimate currency of the kingdom, love. I love this metaphor. Grace provides the car, love starts the engine. Think about it. You can have all the spiritual gifts, all the financial grace in the world. That's the car. But none of it goes anywhere without love for people. Love is what turns the key and starts the engine. Without a genuine people-focused heart, all that grace is just a fancy car sitting idle in the driveway. And check out this powerful, real-world example. The pastor's grandmother lived in a really rough neighborhood. Every other house on her street had been robbed, but hers was never touched in over 20 years. So why? She practiced what we can call the grandmother principle. She would feed the local thugs. She'd celebrate with them. She just treated them with honor and generosity. She met their needs, and what happened? They became her protectors. 350. What in the world does this number mean? Well, it's the number of wheelchairs a philanthropist bought for disabled children, and it completely changed his entire perspective on what wealth is for. So this man, he had all the money you could imagine, but he was deep in a struggle with depression. A friend invited him to just come and see where his donations were actually going, and seeing the pure, unfiltered joy on the faces of these kids that he had helped with his resources. It gave him a sense of purpose and satisfaction that his billions never, ever could. He discovered the true point of his money was to be a tool for love. And that really brings us to our final question, and it's a challenge for all of us. If your vision is only about improving your own life, your own comfort, your own success, is your life too small to be your vision? Because the ultimate takeaway here is that true wealth, real prosperity, is found when we become the answer to someone else's prayer. Thanks for watching.